Hey, how is it going everybody? The Anime Guy here and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be listing some overrated anime of the decade and through the course of anime evolution. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the list. At number 1, we have Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is a show which came in 2018 and it is good, I guess. It is pretty good and it started off pretty well. The story was pretty clear and it had a lot of war references, a lot of Viking references and many other references which were pretty good, making up the storyline pretty awesome and amazing. But the ending, like, just because of the ending, the entire series became meaningless. Like, seriously, Thorfinn was chasing Askeladd for his revenge, and then we see that he dies by the hands of a prince just to protect his country Wales and to protect the prince. That was pretty meaningful death, but still, if that's the case, then Thorfinn's time spending with him was just waste, and nothing more. And it has a rating of 9. I mean, at maximum it should be 8.6 or 8.7 or maybe even an 8.5, but 9? Seriously? It's just not worth it. At number 2, we have Kaguya-sama Love is War. I don't really have any problem with the series, but the fact is that it's just way too hilarious, and the romance, it's kind of missing it's kind of missing in the series, I guess, since it's too dramatic. It's too dramatic to take in, and it has an 8.9 rating. And I don't really even know why it has 8.9. At maximum 8.3. That's it. This is way too overrated. And that's just how I feel, of course. If you guys feel that Kaguya-sama isn't overrated, then argue in the comment section. Maybe you can follow me on Instagram, that would be pretty helpful. Like, okay, moving on from Kaguya-sama. Next we have The Promised Neverland. Like, I don't think I have to explain it pretty well. Like, 9.4, come on. Better than Death Note, come on. This series is way too overrated. Alright, the problem is that it came out in 2019, and in 2019 there are not many series which have this mystery thriller element to them. And since this came out in 2019, which was supposedly considered that some of the best anime of the decade came up, and I was like, what the hell, this is so highly disappointing. At first even I thought that The Promised Neverland could be pretty good, but when I completed it and then I rewatched it once, I was like, oh man, I was wrong. Oh man, like, this is not better than Death Note. This is not deserving of a 9.4 rating. In IMDb list, it has a 9.4. Like, in IMDb, cracking 9 means literally a god tier series. And then we have The Promised Neverland, it has 9.4, and to be honest, it is not that bad, but in my opinion it should get maximum 8.3 or 4, kind of like a that sign. It's not too, like, there's not too much mystery into that. Alright, so that's just how I feel. And The Promised Neverland, and oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, that many people tend to argue that Ray and Norman can surpass L. Like, go check your facts again, dude. This ain't happening. So I think that's all I have to say about The Promised Neverland. I guess many of you know already why I'm listing it in the overrated lists. Okay, so then moving on to Konosuba. Konosuba technically is a good isekai anime, I get it, but dude, best isekai of the decade, when obviously you have some great isekai shows such as No Game No Life and many others. I don't really remember the name right now, but seriously dude, Konosuba the best isekai anime of the decade? You gotta be joking. Like, Konosuba, I mean, I'm not hating the series or anything, but it's just that it's way too hilarious and nothing serious even happens in the series. Like, just pure comedy and isekai. And that's, I mean, I'm not really against it or anything, but please, god damn it, this is Konosuba ain't good. Alright, maybe the comedy part took the audience, and since it is not one when people turn up to isekai anime, they always think that there's gonna be one overpowered character who will flex on everybody, but this is not that type. So I guess that's why it stood out the most. And yeah, it is pretty much a good show, but it has an 8.9 rating. In my opinion, it should get 8.6 or maybe even 8.4, not 8.9. Like, that's way too overrating. Okay, now I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. Moving on to Sword Art Online. See, I know people, I don't know what to say about this, but Sword Art Online it's just so bad. Alright, Sword Art Online, before I knew it, like for the first time when I watched it, like I was like, yeah, it is a pretty good show, I can watch it. But when I found out the truth about Sword Art Online, that it was a copy of another isekai anime, I was like, dude, not good at all. Not good at all. And when I watched season 2, I was like, oh shit. Like, it isn't good. It has a rating of 8.7. And I mean, come on. That's flexing. 8.7 for a series like this? Come on, dude. Sword Art Online at the best deserves a 7.9. That is for every anime community, alright? It's not for just me or anyone else. It is just 7.9. At best 8. Maybe even 8.1 if you like to stretch it a little bit, but seriously, 8.7? Oh no, hell no. Okay. Now, since I talked about Sword Art Online, and I'm pretty sure none of you will like when I tell the next name, the anime which made it to the list is Demon Slayer. Yup, I'm talking about the anime, alright, the first season which we just got, not the manga. So let me just clear my thoughts. See, Demon Slayer is like, has one of, I mean, what do I say? Demon Slayer has pretty good animation, I get it. It is awesome, some mesmerizing animations out there, I get it. But when you compare the plot and the story with other anime which came out on that particular year, 2019, especially when there's Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 competing, this anime got the best anime of the decade. Has a rating of 8.9 in IMDb list, where the story is just plain, way too plain for my taste, alright. Because you watch, when you're a veteran otaku, and like when you have watched Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and this power escalation stuff, Death Note, power escalation stuff you might have heard like Dragon Ball Z, and then you go for some mystery thrillers like Death Note, Monster, and then there is Demon Slayer, which is an adventure, and you've already watched a lot of good anime before that, so you're gonna expect the same level as that of Demon Slayer since it has a rating of 8.9, and then you're highly disappointed. Why? Because the story is way too simple. It's just a straightforward narrative story. That's it, and it still has a rating of 8.9. Like, oh god, no. But that's just me anyways, so let's move on to the next anime we have on the list. It is Your Lie in April. Now, Your Lie in April, I do understand that it's a tragic anime. It is sad because the main character dies, I get it, but it has a rating of 8.6, and with a rating of 8.6, I mean, come on, I watched it like I was gonna watch a really good romance show, and especially when you compare romance show, the first ideal series comes to your mind, like for most of the people it will be either Golden Time or Toradora, and I mean I literally had that mindset when I decided to watch it, and when I completed it I was like, oh god no, 8.6, like seriously no, 8.6 isn't what it deserves. At maximum 8 or maybe 8.3, but 8.6, it's way too overrating. I mean, come on, for 8.6 rated show you have Erased, okay, you have other good shows such as Full Metal Alchemist, okay, not the Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist of the original one, which was adapted in 2003. And then you have Toradora with 8.6, Golden Time with 8.5, and then you have Your Lie in April 8.6, making it as the same level of Toradora, but no, it is not. It is absolutely not. Oh man. Okay, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for Demon Slayer Sword Art Online and Your Lie in April. I pretty much know it. So next up is Rising of the Shield Hero. Rising of the Shield Hero. I admitted that this anime had a lot more potential. Like 8.6 is kind of okay, I guess, but I think it should have been a bit lesser, like 8.4 maybe, because after episode 16 or 15, I guess, after episode 15 or 16, where the Queen of Lolians are introduced, I mean, that is just bullshit. I don't really like that part, because especially when Philo dies, and I mean, Philo died at the beginning of the series, like in episode 7 or 8 maybe, and then she is resurrected back, and uh, I was kind of taking that in, and then you suddenly have this Florial Queen or whatever. She is like way too overpowered, and I mean, I cannot get over that stuff, because that was just so bad. The story was moving on so smoothly up to that point. Once it came to that checkpoint, it just had a straight downfall, straight down, and it didn't make a comeback after that. So even though Rising of the Shield Hero has 8.6 maybe, but it should be like 8.4 or 8.3. That's how I feel. Okay, if you have watched Rising Shield Hero, and you can understand what I mean. If you haven't, then go check it out yourself. It's a pretty good show to watch, actually, but uh, like I said, it's overrated. Okay, so next up is Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden has a rating of 8.6, was supposed to be a good anime, and the fun fact is that I couldn't even watch up to episode 8. Like, seriously, after episode 7, I dropped the anime. Like, I'm over this. I I don't have words to express how disappointed I am with this series. There's this girl who is a war victim. Maybe I don't know, she's not a war victim. She participated in the war, and she does not, or maybe she cannot comprehend with human feelings or whatever. And then she suddenly had a proposal from her major at his dying moments, and that is the main, I mean, the story revolves around that incident, and the and the anime is just based on her feelings, that she will come to feel human emotions. Like, that is the entire story. uh, I was so highly disappointed at this, like so highly disappointed. I couldn't even complete episode 7. I just dropped it in the midways of episode 7. Like, no, 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 not watching this ever again. Like, so I guess that's it for today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, please drop a like, and if you felt that I have missed some of the other overrated stuff, then you can comment below and tell me that, yeah, I should have talked about this and I just couldn't, because, and there are a lot of underground shows which deserve a lot more recognition, and there are some underground shows which came to the mainstream but they weren't good at all, but I just didn't take them because my anime audience is new. They're new to the anime community, so if I talk about underground, they won't be able to understand. So that's why I chose all of the mainstream stuff and deduced how things should have gone and how the rating should have been. So okay, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. Like it if you actually did, and please share, subscribe. The Anime Guy out.